crafty DIYers, and welcome to April's box video. This is our wood burning kit, and I'm so excited to show you how to use our wood burning tool, learn more about wood burning, and also create our sign today. So in your guide, you have lots of information about your tool and about types of wood. So today we're going to jump into actually using the tool, the different points that it comes with, and you can see those points in your guide as well. And then also talking about how to create our sign and showing you the different techniques that you might be using on yours. All right, let's get started. So I have my wood burning tool stand taped down. You can see here that's really important so it doesn't pop up as you're setting your tool back down in it. So do use your washi tape to set that down before you get started, to tape that down before you get started. And I'm going to go ahead and start by showing you how to use the different points that come with your tool. So this is our practice wood here. It's a good place to get started before you jump into your sign. And what I have on here is my favorite tip, and this is the cone point. This is the pointy one. And I really like this for almost everything I do. You'll find that you probably have a tip that you like best, and that is totally fine if it's not this one. This is my favorite, and so I'm gonna start with this one. I really love to use this one for cursive writing, and I'll show you kind of what that looks like. So you're actually gonna just set the point down onto the wood, being very careful not to touch the metal parts of your tool. It's very hot, so it's really important to use caution. But you're just gonna set it down, and first I'm just gonna show you really what wood burning looks like. So all wood burning is putting your hot tool against wood and creating lines, or dots, or shapes, or whatever you might be creating. And the longer you hold it against there, the darker and deeper it'll be. So do be careful with your practice wood. It's kind of thin, so you want to limit how deep you go. And this is a little bit softer than your sign, so you will change your pressure once you move to your sign. But this gives you a really good idea of the different points and what they do. So you can see how this would be good for cursive writing. So I'll just create a T. And for cursive, I actually like to start at the top and kind of come down. And then you can go back over if you need to. And you might have noticed here, this get a little bit bumpy as I was doing it. And that's because there's wood grain in your piece. This is real wood, so this is wood grain. And you might come up against little pieces of the grain that cause you to become a little bit bumpy with your hand. And that's okay. You'll learn just kind of how to navigate that. And I was able to go back and smooth it. And also remember that wood burning is not going to be perfect because you are dealing with natural materials. And that's totally okay. So that is our cone point. It's really fun just to try different shapes. Just really get a feel for how the tool moves, how you can use it. And you might think about with your sign, the types of shapes that you want to practice making before you get into your sign. So here, this is just some rough practice. Just get a feel for the tool itself. Now, I'm going to let this cool down and switch out my points. So I'm going to turn this off, let it cool down, and I'll come back when it's time to switch out the point when it's cooled off in just a couple minutes. Okay, I have switched out to my universal point, and I used pliers to do that. I turned the tool off, let it cool for a couple moments, and then used pliers to take that point out and replace it with the universal point. So this point can do really fine lines, and actually it can do a lot of the things that you want to do. It just depends on what feels best in your hand. They do call it the universal point because it's good for a lot of things. So if you want to just go ahead and set it on your wood and give it a try. And the key to wood burning is really slow and steady lines. Or not just lines, but any of the shapes you're making, the key is really slow and steady. So you'll see here it made a really nice line for me. And this would be really good if you are doing the sign with the flowers coming up from the bottom. This would be really great for their stems and their little petals. So just give that a try, see how it feels, and when you're ready to switch, make sure to turn off your tool, use your pliers, and switch points. Okay, I've switched to my third point, which is the flow point. It's the short and stubby, cute little point that gives us really good dots, circles, and organic shapes. Also good for cursive writing. You might prefer this one over the cone point. So let's give this a try with our wood and see how it looks. It's a much more rounded line. And it is really good for those organic shapes. And remember that with wood burning, you want slow and steady. So you can actually see the variations in color here in what I just did, because I didn't go as slow and as steady here as I did in the top line. So you can see how that really does make a difference to really move slowly across your wood, giving that time to make a nice burn. And that is our flow point. Okay, and our last point is our shading point, and it's this one that looks kind of like a leaf, which actually gives us really great leaf shapes too. And that is my favorite thing about this point. But I'll show you how shading works, and then I'll also show you how to do a leaf shape with this tool. So to create shading behind any object, you can just use this tool lightly wherever you want to give it shading, and you can go back over to really create a three-dimensional kind of look and allow that shading to get lighter as you go. But this tool is a really nice tool. It feels great using it, honestly. It's a lot of fun. And it'll give you shading. And then to create a leaf shape, you just use the tool kind of like a stamp. And I like to kind of lead with the bottom and then press up, hold it for just a couple of seconds, and you have a really nice leaf shape there that you can use on your welcome sign if you choose to do that one. Or in the future, you could create a wreath out of these shapes. If you get one side a little bit more stamped than the other, you can just even it out. These are really fun, a really easy way to kind of make a big impact with your hot tool. And those are our 4 points. So remember to use pliers when you change between them. Remember to let it cool a little bit before you do that. But have fun, practice on your wood, and then we'll get started on our sign.